Good morning and namaste. Welcome to this inversion yoga flow. This is going to be an intermediate level inversions. So I hope you enjoy it and let's begin. Come to the center of your mat and let's go into child's pose. Sit on your heels, hands extended forward. Head could be resting on the mat here. And just bring your intention to this yoga class today. Thank yourself for showing yourself on the mat here and bring your attention to your breath. Trying to clear your mind here, forgetting about anything that happened during the day or any external thoughts and just focusing on this present moment. From here, let's come into a tabletop position. And from here, we are going to do a few cat and cow poses. So inhale as you go into cow pose, looking up. Exhale as you go into cat pose, looking down, pushing your hips forward and curving your back. Inhale as you look up, go into cow pose and curving your back in the opposite direction. Keep doing this at your own pace with your own breath a few times. Inhaling into cow pose and then exhaling into cat. When you're done, meet me in a center position and then push yourself up to go into downward facing dog. And from here, keep flexing your legs and moving them in whichever direction feels nice, just to warm up your legs here. You can keep a slight bend in your knees and keep pushing yourself from your hands and your feet. If you can rest the whole feet on the ground, that's great. If not, that's fine. We all have a different level of hamstrings flexibility. From here, then look forward as you step yourself to the front of the mat. And then slowly inhale as you come all the way back up. And come stand in Tadasana with your hands on the side. From here, inhale as you lift your arms up. Exhale as you bend forward. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale into Chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. And then exhaling into downward facing dog. And then staying here for a few breaths. Inhaling as you find that length in your spine, pushing yourself away from the ground with your hands. Your gaze towards your belly. Try to push your knees back to form a straight line if they are bent. And then slowly jump or step forward to come into forward fold. Inhaling into halfway lift. Exhaling into forward fold. And inhale as you come all the way up with your hands up. And stand in mountain pose or Tadasana. That was Surya Namaskare. We are going to repeat it another time. So this time do it at your own pace with your own breath. Your movement and breath should be in parallel to each other. Make sure you check your alignment as you move from one pose to another. Keep breathing, never hold your breath. And then look forward as you jump or step to the front of your mat. Inhaling into halfway lift, exhaling into forward fold, inhaling into Tadasana. Let's do another one of the Surya Namaskara. Again at your own breath. We tend to start off all these intermediate and advanced flows with Surya Namaskara and B because those are like the best asanas to get into warming up our body. Keep falling at your own breath. And when you're done, meet me in a Tadasana position or the mountain pose, standing tall and hands by your side. From here, let's go into a wide standing stance and extending our hands to the side, parallel to the ground, looking up, inhaling, and then bend from your lower back as you exhale and bend forward. From here, you can rest your hands on your shins or on the ground, or if you want, you can grab your big toes and keep bending forward. Inhale as you find that length in the spine, and then exhale as you bend forward, shifting the weight from your heels to your toes and trying to go deeper. Maybe you can touch your ground, maybe you can touch your head to the ground, maybe you cannot, that's fine. Getting into that habit of touching the forehead on the ground here would help you get into like inversion flow from here. And then slowly inhale as you come halfway up, keeping your hands on the waist, and then inhale as you come all the way up and come to the forward of your mat, front of your mat. From here, inhale again as you raise your arms up, exhale as you bend forward, inhaling into halfway lift, exhaling as you go into chaturanga, inhaling into upward dog, and then exhaling into downward dog. From here, inhale as you bring your right foot in between your arms and bring your arms all the way up to go into warrior one. Keep looking up, keep engaging your core, your hands straight up, and from here slowly bring your arms down and swing it across towards the back and form a bind behind your back. And try to bring your head closer to your knee. And then gently release your arms and bring it to the mat. And then do your vinyasa flow here. Now let's repeat it on the other side, bringing our left foot in between our arms, inhaling as we raise our arms up to go into warrior one on the left side. Whole body engaged. Make sure your foundation, both your feet, are on the ground, not hovering above the ground. And then exhale as you bend forward to bring your head next to your knee, and then forming a bind with your arms behind your back. Try to go a little deeper, bending a little further down, and then gently release your arms and bring it to the mat and do your vinyasa. Now again, bring your right foot in between your arms and then inhale to go into warrior one. And then from here we go into warrior three. You can use your hands to get support from the ground in order to balance, or you can bring your hands to namaste position near your chest, or you can open your hands to the left side to look up to go into a side open warrior three. Keep maintaining that balance here and slowly come back and do your vinyasa. Let's bring our left foot in between our arms this time and go into warrior one on the left side. Then keeping our left foot grounded, lift your right foot above the ground and go into warrior three. Hand could be on the ground for stability, and if you feel comfortable you can open your body towards the right side for warrior three on the right side, maintaining that balance. And then slowly come back and go into a child's pose for a brief movement to bring your heart rate down and calming your breath. From here, let's meet me in a plank position with your shoulders stacked on top of your wrists, your core engaged, your shoulder blades engaged, pushing yourself against the ground. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath, engage your core. And then from here, lift your right hand up in the sky, shifting your weight on the left hand, and look through your right hand up to the sky. Keep breathing, keep maintaining that balance. Come back at the center and repeat it on the other side, lifting your left hand this time up to the sky and looking through the left hand straight up. Slowly bring your left hand back at the center, going back into that plank position. I know your shoulders must be burning by now, but let's again go to a child's pose to reconnect with our breath. And from here, let's go into a plank again, but this time on our forearms. So again, keep breathing here, maintaining that straight alignment, engaging your shoulder blades, your core. And from here, we are going to go into dolphin pose. So basically bringing our feet closer to our body and your and our gaze to our navel point, feeling that intense burning sensation in our shoulders. And from here, go into a forearm plank again and back to child's pose to calm your heart rate down. Again, come onto your forearms and going into that dolphin pose. Now this time try to do these little push-ups on your forearms in the dolphin pose. And then lift one leg, bring it down, lift the opposite. We are doing this to get into that habit of going into a forearm stand, just to get the idea, the alignment of our legs, our shoulders, and our body. And from here, bring your knees down on the mat and then go into a child's pose again. Now, on our forearms, forming a bind between our hands and using that to support our head. Let's try to go into headstand, maybe just lifting one leg and then the other. And then if it's possible, maybe lift both legs. And then eventually lifting both legs all the way up in the air and maintaining that balance. It's very critical here to focus your gaze on one point. It really helps with the balance here. And then using your hands also for a little support on either side. Engaging your core, engaging your mula bandhas. Keeping your feet together as if you're squeezing a ball between your feet. Putting a pressure against each other would also help with the balance. These inversions are very good for circulating blood throughout the body. And when you're done, slowly bring both your feet together onto the mat and then go to rest in child's pose. Slowly come back and sit in a squat position, bringing your hands forward, and then slightly tuck your knees onto your triceps and shifting your weight a little forward. Try to lift one foot and then the other off the ground and looking at one constant point. Find that balance and stay in crow pose. And then come back into child's pose. From here, let's meet me in a downward facing dog. And then from here, we are trying to get into handstands. If you're new to this or are still at an intermediate level, you can use some cushions against the wall to support yourself, to remove that fear of falling. And then bring your hands grounded on the mat and spread them wide and look at one constant point right below your head, and then lift one leg up and then the other. If you have a wall, great, you can rest your legs against the wall. If not, find that balance. You can pause the video here and give it a few more minutes to try it at your own pace and try different variations. And once you are done, let's meet me in a lying position on our back and bend your knees so that your feet is in close distance with your hands. And then tuck your chin in and lift yourself up, lift your hips up and go into the bridge pose. Keeping your hands on the ground, slightly using them for support and added force to push your hips up. Gently release and extend your legs. And from here, we're going to lift both our legs up and go into shoulder stand, using our hands for support on our waist. And your chin is tucked in, and make sure you're looking at one focus point at your feet or somewhere between your feet, and don't look left or right. We don't want to um, put much pressure on our neck here, so keep maintaining that straight focus point. And also engage your core and your legs to lift yourself up, and don't solely rely on the support from your hands. And then if you can, try to go into Halasana, bringing your feet all the way above your head to touch the ground and forming that bind with your hands and pushing it against the ground. That should give you an extra leverage to reach your feet above the ground, your feet above the head on the ground. And from there you can go into an ear pressure pose, so basically bending our knees in and bringing it closer to our ear. Keep breathing here. And then slowly bring our Legs back in a shoulder stand with the support of our hands. And then slowly rest your hands on the ground and bring your legs down one vertebrae at a time. And then from here, let's bring our legs in and grab both the feet from the outside to go into a happy baby pose. You can feel free to do whatever you need here. You can swing from side to side, bend your knees in, rock from top to bottom to give your back a massage, and gently pull your legs towards the ground. And once you're done playing around in this pose, come into your final resting position, which is Savasana. Your hands and your feet spread wide on the mat. Complete relaxation of the body. Eyes closed. Keep breathing through your nose. Long, deep breaths. And thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. I hope you enjoyed this flow, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, namaste.